just going on to further things in the wider sort of economy. Obviously, airlines I've been talking about because of my professional background throughout this, and post-COVID again, it's vital that we have good, sustained, frequently operated airlinks to key destinations around the British Isles in order to attract the investment that which we'll need.
You said you weren't interested in taking a departmental membership. Given your background and your professional experience, you could be some use to the Department of Infrastructure with ports, perhaps, tackling exactly that issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've before I've met Mrs. Reynolds before regarding issues at the airport, and yeah, just because I'm not involved directly doesn't mean to say I wouldn't be wish to be involved indirectly. I'd be quite happy to raise any issues and address them either to Minister Baker or to Mrs. Reynolds as and when they came about.
We've heard differing views from incumbent members of Tynwald on the different options or different availabilities in terms of air routes, air links, and what sorts of agreements could be put in place. One of which I think is going on behind the scenes at the minute, is an increased involvement with Orini in Guernsey. Do you have a view on that?
I feel it's Orini serving Guernsey has shown the strategic importance of the island having its own air links. It's able to use them proactively, pretty much same as we have with the steam packet. I think the strategic value of owning the steam packet's been apparent to everyone over the last few months. Had it been in private hands, then who knows what the outcome could have been. So I think it's vital that islands the size of our own and Guernsey, Jersey, etc., take control of key services. I mean, the Isle of Man obviously has a NHS patient transfer service which he operates to Liverpool, and that's vital. So that needs to be operated by a competent professional carrier in order to respect the passenger's dignity and to ensure that the service is reliable year round.
I think the preference at the minute is to essentially underwrite an existing service from elsewhere. Just tell us how does that differ from a national airline, perhaps?
Yeah, I would be extremely cautious about that undertaking. Not wishing to cast aspersions at any particular airlines, of course, but some of them have been known for somewhat creative accounting, shall we say, in the past. And we, as the Manx taxpayer, we have to be very guarded that losses on other routes or through other operations aren't channeled through an Isle of Man operation, and the Manx taxpayer ends up picking up the tab for it. So a high degree of transparency needs to be available if that is the case. And like I say, I would certainly urge caution with making that proposal.
Did that have anything to do with your decision to stand?
It did, yes. I've been going on about certainly the shortcomings of the Open Skies legislation, basically since it was introduced back in the late 90s. I don't feel it served the island well, and we don't have any accountability with regard to our air links. So yeah, it was one of the on the sort of wider island issue reasons that I decided to put myself forward.
Mrs. Christian, do you have any view on the topic?
Well, so I've already said that I think we should be definitely looking at making links with other airlines, especially at Gurney, because we don't know what the market's going to be like. We don't know if we're going to have an EasyJet, etc. existing. I have friends that are in BA, and I was only speaking to them this morning about the new terms, etc. that they're going through. We just don't know what the market's going to be like. So I think we need to make sure that we've got strategic plans in place. And obviously, Paul's got greater experience in that with his years of being a pilot. And I would totally look to his view on that, and look forward to discussing it further with him.
I think it's vital. We're talking about investment and investment inwards from the Commonwealth, particularly Dollin. I think it's vital that we have a good, sustained link to London at the moment. I would even say that we stand a good chance of securing 2, perhaps 3 slots into Heathrow if we were to make the bold decision to either invest into Orini or to go it alone. And that's vital to ensuring that the economy gets the support and investment that it needs. Looking back in my time at Manx Airlines, we had The Manx economy had, say, 15 years, year-on-year growth from 1985 through to 2000, and that was powered by Manx Airlines, ostensibly because we had the London Heathrow link. Had we not had that, then the island would not be in the position that it is today.
So it's an issue of more urgency, perhaps, than is let on, do you think?
Well, it's a good time to plan. This is what we've got. We've got a sort of lull in air travel, as it were, at the moment. It will come back. We will return to normal one day. This will not be with us forever. So it's a time to strategically plan for how we see ourselves on the other side of this. So it's vital that this major issue is addressed.